is all about my experience with early intervention. So like I said before, my experience with early intervention is short. I did only do it for a year. My son was 2 years old when we actually finally got a chance to get him into the program. He was 2 years old, so he only got to do it for a year. We did our evaluation. We went to the building. The evaluation was about a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. And they ask a whole lot of questions. So do not get discouraged, don't get irritated or anything like that. They have to ask you all of these questions because your child's development comes from everything that you do throughout your day. So what they eat, what they see, what how much they're watching TV, who they're playing with, what they're playing with, how long they're playing with it, all of that kind of stuff comes into us learning about your child, them learning about your child, so they can help you to make a plan just for your child, your background, who's if you ever had anybody else in your life who's had autism, or anybody else who's had some type of developmental delay, including you and your spouse, or if it's just you, then whoever it is, so that they can have an idea of what they're working with. So yes, they do ask a lot of questions, but don't get discouraged. Don't be irritated about it. They have to know all of that information so that they can make the best plan for your child. And that's what you want. You want the best plan. So depending on what they decide your child has, whether it be autism or developmental delay, because they don't only do autism. So let me say that they also do developmental delay, they do disabilities, they do autism, all of that kind of stuff. It's very broad. If you don't know what early intervention is, let me just say that as well. Early intervention is an awesome program where literally it's self-explanatory. They intervene early. You want to get your child in as early as you can, because the earlier you get them in, the better it is. Like I said before, it helped my son a lot to do it before he went to preschool, and he was able to use those tools that he learned from his therapist and early intervention and use that into preschool. And then when he started to outpatient therapy, it wasn't as hard for him to adjust to it because he had already been, involved in stuff like that. And that's something you would like, as you should want for your child as well. So yeah, we're going to talk all about my experience with them. I went to the evaluation, like I said. We met some awesome people. They asked me what I wanted from my child, what goals I wanted for my child to reach. At that point, he was 2 years old. I wanted him to start talking, at least saying mama and dada, cup, little things like that. He wasn't saying anything. He was just whining. He didn't want to interact with other kids. He would just play by himself on the floor. He just wanted to play with his little cars or his little blocks, and that was literally it. So I'm like, your mother instincts kick in when you start to notice that your child isn't really doing things they should be doing by that age. So yeah, I explained all of my feelings to them, how I felt my son was doing and what I wanted him to be able to do. And we set a plan, an IEP for him to be able to do and reach the goals that we wanted in the time that we could. So that is the thing that you're going to be doing. You're basically going to be making an IEP, basically a plan for your child, a goal plan for your child, for the time that they are with the people that they're going to be working with. So for Prince, he had a speech therapist and he had an occupational therapist. So he ended up doing the speech and the occupational therapy every week for an hour is the plan that we ended up making for our child. That was based on my son. Depending on how severe the autism is or how severe your disability is, developmental delay is, they adjust that time of you working with your therapist, how many times they come in the week based on your schedule, their schedule, all of that kind of stuff. You guys work all of that stuff out, which is so awesome. They work around your schedule. So whatever you guys are doing throughout the day, they want the therapist to be there with you guys throughout the day to help you to know what you should do, what you shouldn't do, to help you know where you can, where you should lean back on things, but you should move forward on things, like give a little bit more force. Like, no, you need to do this. No, you should do this, because then that way it's helping to put it in their minds. When the kids are younger, it's so much easier to get them to understand. It's so much easier because they are like sponges when they're younger. I've said that before too. It's easier for them to learn, and don't get discouraged, okay? Every little tiny little thing that they do is progress. So do not fear or don't get discouraged, don't any of that stuff, because any little thing that they start doing within that time that they are working with them is progress. We have to start noticing that. If they just start clapping their hands and they've never done that before, that's progress. If they just say ma, and that's it, not mama, just ma, that is progress. If they start, saying dada or cup or say a color when they see it, it's progress. They're not going to start, talking full blown sentences and all of that stuff within a week or so of starting speech therapy, or occupational therapy or physical therapy. Any type of therapy that they need is going to take time. Every little step is progress. Remember that. Every little step is progress. Yes, I'm keep saying that because it's a process. It is a long process to get them to where they need to be. Yes, it takes a whole lot of extra work. Yes, but it's so worth it when your child starts talking. You guys know my son did not start talking until he was 3.5, 4 years old. My son just turned 7 years old. Today is his birthday. My prince, he just turned 7 years old. And my son literally walked up to me and was like, Mommy, I can spell my name. And he started spelling it. And it just warmed my heart. Spell your name.
P-R-I-N-C-E, Ritz.
What's your last name?
W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S, Williams.
Very good. Give me a high five. Great job. So I don't want you guys to be discouraged. I want you guys to understand. And that's not the first thing that he has said in that time. He's talked before then. He said things. He's been saying sentences. He's been reading. He's been doing a whole lot within those years of us working with him. But for him to just walk up to me without having the letters in front of him, without anything, and just able to spell his name, it just made my life so bright and my heart so brightened, because I'm like, oh my goodness, he's been listening. Oh my goodness, it's sticking with him. Oh my goodness, all this work is paying off. And that is so great and something to celebrate. It's progress. He's progressing so well. He's doing so well because we had him in early intervention. We had him in his therapies after early intervention. And we did not take a break. We've been doing it nonstop because we wanted him to be the best him he could be. And that's what we want for your children. So if you have not looked into early intervention yet, please do so. Like I said, I will be putting the link in the description box so that you guys can make sure you go and see if they have it in your state or in your area, and see if you guys can get your child evaluated, because there is nothing wrong with your kid. Yes, they have a disability. Yes, they have developmental delays, but it's okay. It's okay. They're going to learn. It's just going to take them a little bit longer. And you have to be able to be patient with them. You have to be able to encourage them. Your support is everything to them. They love to see you praise them when they do something great. So please, please, please look into early intervention. If your child is a newborn to 3 years old, in that age, and they have any type of developmental delay or disability or autism, please look into that, because you don't want to miss out on that chunk of time to get them into early intervention where you can work with them. Also, as I've said before, you want to make sure that you guys are being there for them no matter what. Don't get upset with them if they get stuff wrong. Don't, discourage them if they start to get things wrong, because they are trying their hardest. They are doing what they can do. And even when they seem like they're sidetracked or their attention span is just not long, like 2 seconds long, yes, they're getting sidetracked. There's a lot going on. Their anxiety might start acting up because there's new people all in their face telling them what to do, but they will get it. They will get it. They really will get it. But my experience is I had 2 people come into my house. They did an awesome job with my son. They sat him down. They worked with him for an hour. And let me tell you, the people were great. The women that came into my home and they just made it, they let me know that it was me who was running the scene. They gave me pointers as a parent to help my child to do better things. And I thought that I was like, yes, I'm doing this, and they were like, you know, you want to like lay low a little bit, you know, calm down a little bit, let him learn, you know, you got to let him learn certain things, let him play. A lot of kids, they're just playing, and they learn while they play. So you have to let them do their thing. Yes, they're gonna look like they just having fun, just playing games. It's not gonna feel like they're really learning much, but trust me, they are learning a lot. So we will get more into early intervention later on, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys got the idea of it, so that if you do have a child that has a disability, that has autism, that has a developmental delay, or anything of that sort, please make sure that you do get them in there from newborn to 3 years old. You can get them into early intervention and you will not regret it. I promise you, you will not regret it. So please make sure you do that. Like I said, it was great for us. It really worked for him, and it's not a waste of time. Most insurances will pay for it as long as you have a doctor's, a specialist, a note or something that says that your child is in need of it. They should pay for it. Most insurances will. My son's insurance has paid for his, so they will pay. Most will pay for it. But you have to talk to your people. You have to talk to your insurance and let them know, hey, this is what's going on. Talk to your case manager if you have one. Let them know my child needs therapy. This is what they have. Once you get your child, once you get that diagnosis of your child, whether it be a developmental delay or autism, your insurance will change for them. That way you're not paying for medication, you're not paying for the therapy, you're not paying for equipment that they may need, because your insurance will pay for it, because it's considered is a need for them. So please make sure that you do reach out to your insurance before you do this, or reach out to early intervention and find out which ways they can help you, so that you can get this therapy and stuff for your child, because it is very important. It's very, very important. I cannot stress it enough. It's so important to get into them early. You don't want to wait until they're 5-6 years old, because now they've already adjusted to themselves the way that they have been. You know, they've already gotten used to sitting in the house watching TV all day. They've gotten used to sitting there watching the tablet or a phone all day. They've gotten used to just doing their little things. It's going to be so much harder to get them to relax and sit at a table and have somebody tell them what to do when they've been sitting at home all day. So you want to make sure that you do it early. Like I said, my son was there when he was 2 years old. By the time he got into preschool, we put him into outpatient therapy, but he was also able to get speech and occupational therapy in school. So you want to make sure that when you talk to them, when you register your children, that you let them know my child has autism, my child has a disability of whatever the disability is, and let them know, hey, they need speech, they need occupational. Do you have this program in school? If they have it, work with them to get them on a schedule with that, and then you won't have to really worry about doing it outside of school. But you can also do it outside of school, even if they are getting it in school. And that's what we did with our son. We put him in outpatient therapy, and we had him in the therapy at school. So there are resources out there. Please make sure you are reaching all into them. But that is literally my whole experience with early intervention. I just had someone come to my home for about a year, 2 people, the speech therapist and occupational therapy. They came and they did their work with him for an hour. They played games with him. They gave him flashcards. They had him repeating after him or trying to get him to repeat after him. There's a lot of different things that they do. There's a lot of different ways to get those little brains going. So make sure you do look up early intervention. They do have a lot of things on YouTube about it, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out as well. Thank you so much again for coming out and watching Autism Mama. Today's video was all about early intervention, my experience with them, encouraging you guys to get it out there and get your walk on, get your work going, because your child needs it. Your child needs it. Please don't wait until they're older and then try to force it on them, because it's going to be so much harder. No, it's never too late to get your child the care that they need. It's never too late. There's so many resources out here for our children. So if you ever need anything specifically, please write in the comments below and let me know what you guys would like to talk about so that I can make sure that I'm reaching all parts of autism for you guys. Thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell on the side so you can make sure that you get all videos that I upload whenever I can upload them. Most likely it will be at least like 2 times a week. I will be uploading a video for you guys to tell you guys about a great resource to have and my experience with the resource if I've had the experience. If I haven't had the experience, I'm going to experience it. So I will have an experience eventually. But thank you guys so much again for watching Autism Mama. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye.